Recordings in progress.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. What you don't understand is we went nowhere. We've been building content. We have treats for you today. You don't even grasp in mental intuitiveness of any kind. Look at this. Met shirts, Met green, getting ready for St. Patty Day hats. I mean, we're ready to go. Upside, oh, look at this with the rainbow of luck for the New York Metropolitans.
Yeah, because that's what it is. It's not the other rainbow.
It's not the other rainbow here. We have the rainbows that used to be, which were, oh, wow, look at that rainbow. It's beautiful. There's a pot of gold on the other side, not a hole, back door on the other side. Stay away. It's okay. You can do that. I don't want it. Okay.
No, by the way, Broadway Blanchard over there, right there.
Right here.
Right
and
there.
If you look to the other side, right there, Jet Steve Weisgau. Woo! And let me just go right away with this.
All right, let's go.
This. But while we were in the rest, the phone's been blowing up for new product sponsorship.
What do we got?
But I stayed with the same product. But I got a big company, baby. What does that look like to you?
I don't know. You hold on.
What does that little red circle whole thing look like?
You're gonna have to bring it to the camera here. Wow.
Nature Target. So the healthy division of Target has created a 90 billion probiotics.
Wow, that's a lot of CFUs.
Let me tell you something. Made by one of the former companies that we also still work with, by the way. So it's cross promotion. And we're going to be working with all of them.
Oh.
Just so you know. And a lot of this has to go on the viral hits we get today. I'm told we're going to go virus with the little jingle.
We're going to get a virus?
I guess that's what it's called. You get a virus and it's good. Jingle is coming your way.
Very nice. 90 CFUs.
90 billion.
90. Well,
90,
listen.
90 billion CFUs.
90 billion CFUs, which we needed last week when we got the news that Kodai Senga, technically our one, is going to be out for probably 4 starts, maybe 5. With arm fatigue, whatever.
It's a rear capsule, posterior capsule, swelling and inflammation. They got it. They gave him a shot, PRPs. They probably filled it up with some anti-inflammatories in there too, some kind of steroid shot. And he has to sit for 2 weeks before he does anything. And then he gets moving. Apparently, it's not the damage. The anterior one is the dangerous one. The posterior one is not. So let's hope that's the case. That being said, we cannot afford to lose him. But we got this new sensation pitching today, Canrick or something, trying to make the team. He was pitching a no-hitter today for a few innings. I mean, he didn't give up a run. And the Mets, with their new starting left fielder today, Tyler Thompson hit a 4-run dinger, which is otherwise known as a grand salami, and drove in another run the next time he got up.
He's
Pete Alonso with 2 doubles.
He's had a couple of good games in. I mean, they only played 3 games, but he's played 2 very good games.
Played well, apparently. This guy might make the team. I don't know who he is. I don't know who he is. But you know, when we were finishing up this year's football season, as we switch over real quickly to a little bit of football, it did not end the way that your cap is suggesting the Metropolitans will, because I feel no luck. Okay, I feel good about the Metropolitans, except for that they don't have a pitching staff. I feel very good. Okay, that they're gonna figure out. Stevie Cohen's not gonna let us go through the year without a pitching staff. Promise you that if we're in play. But the football, on the other hand, the football's had some trouble. The football world they all get hurt. They kill themselves with Achilles injuries galore. By the way, TJ Hushmanzada called me this morning. asking me, do you still do yoga? Do you still do something? I said, yeah, I dabble in it once in a while. I mean, I do it every day. I said, but because would you teach a few guys? Because a few of the guys that I'm working with at the combine, that are going there, they think it's girly stuff and everything. Well, he didn't say girly. I said that. They think it's wimp. Yeah, I think he said
Right.
wimp or soft, too soft. They think it's
Too
soft.
soft.
And he said,
Too soft.
can you show him? Can you show him? I said,
So I would, it would be great to get these guys, whatever, 3 of them, 6 of them, 8 of them,
I think it's 4.
all on camera saying yoga is soft, right? And then you start putting them through the stuff, the yoga, and they all tap out in like 3 minutes.
3 minutes. That's what he said. He said, I don't want you to kill them, but I definitely want them to back off from what's going. Not like
they tap out.
He said, not like you were teaching me and all the boys during the NFL times. He said, but get him. I'll get him. I'll get him. And then he throws the kicker in. He says, and a guy reached out to me this week because he knew that I did it in my career. And he said, I want to do it with your guy. And who's that guy? Justin Jefferson.
Oh, that'd be great.
Who do the Jets need?
Yeah, he's not going anywhere.
I don't know. Then price just went up for him.
Yeah, that would be the equivalent of us trading Sauce.
Pretty much so. But it's just. Yeah. But in any case, I would have Justin Jefferson. Which
would you have to go to Minnesota? Does he live there?
I don't know. I don't think for the next couple of months. He's out here right now, so I think he's trying to get into shape before he gets into shape. So in which case, maybe I would have to go at that point. But who cares? It's not terrible. It's Justin Jefferson. He's got change. He's got a huge contract coming. You know what I'm saying? So I can make it bigger. That's what I did with TJ. Listen, I turned TJ into basically where he was going to be cut because of his hamstring issues and everything, to where he got an 8-year, huge. I won't say the number, but it's got an 8 in front of it, and it ain't just 8 either. Okay, yeah. So it was a big contract back then. Now here we go.
That would be great for a lot of reasons. One, obviously, it's a client, the money's good. But he's one of the top guys in the league, and all you need is for him to say,
"With his mouth."
And I've been doing yoga with Broadway Blanchard. That's it.
And we're virus.
You're virus, and then we get him on the pod.
That's what we're saying. All right. So with that, there is something I want to throw your way. Now,
I've heard about the rumor.
The rumor is
true.
Right on the money. That's what the rumor is. I spent the last 5 weeks from the time that, and here's a rumor, let me tell you, you may not have heard. Carmen told me this rumor. The reason that this Swiftology, whatever it is, took such place and started in the NFL with the New York Jet game was because she had a lot of bad press, apparently, about how she uses her private jets, and she's got a big carbon imprint that she gets.
Footprint.
I don't think she's much of a singer. I don't think she's much of a musician. I think she's a pretty good lyricist. As you're going to notice later, I've improved it, but that's another question that's about to be answered. That being said, I get the fact that she's prolific as all hell, and she's also very giving. I'm going to give you this. She donates hundreds of millions of dollars to charities of her choice. So if she throws an airplane in the sky once in a while, so what? I mean, come on, really? Stop it.
Listen,
and all this. But anyway, that's the strike she had. So what they were saying was they announced the first thing that she'd been dating this guy for a while, that she's going to be there at a Jet game, so that on the internet, all the Jets hits that were going, SWIFTIE and Jets, Swift, became New York Jets and her, and boosted the New York Jets by hundreds of millions of people.
You mean ticket requests? Yeah.
Ticket requests, yeah.
Yeah.
And then, unbeknownst to us, but as we learned, took the number of the cap from here to somewhere up here this year. The football cap is way higher. We can go after anyone we want, just so you know. just about. And we didn't have much room. So I'm going to
We,
give
we
her
still
some
don't have
credit.
much room.
And in honor of, no, not her songs, but her affiliation with the NFL, however that's come about, the fact that it began with the New York Football Jets. I mentioned to you that I'm a better singer.
Okay, so
And
hold
I
on.
did that to you.
I want to, because I want to have this for posterity's sake.
Uh-huh.
I'm ready to record this unbelievable world premiere, by the way.
Of Broadway Blanchard doing
Right
a take on one of the verses of a very well-known to some people, not me.
Not me either. So you better tell me what
Carmen,
song this is.
Carmen told me there's a song called Karma. Who better
Karma.
than Broadway Blanchard to do a song about karma, being the
Okay.
good karma that I've spread throughout my years and the good karma that Jets Steve Weisgall spreads also every day, especially with his rainbow affiliation to the, look at that, spread that karma in New York. Okay. So her song is called Karma.
Okay.
And it's a sort of a white girl rap song of karma and all the things that are karma and everything. But I changed it just a little bit. Tell me if you can see the name of this one.
Jet Karma.
Jet Karma by
I'm guessing you, but it's kind of
Jet
mushy.
Swiftie.
Jet Swiftie.
That's who we call me right now.
Yeah, I don't know if that one's gonna
So
stick.
what I did was I rewrote a verse. Well, it's actually the bridge. So I've got the musical accompaniment on my right, which to you looks left. I got
Correct.
probiotics in the belly, 90 billion CFUs, and I got the new lyrics right here, which I'm not going to show you.
No, I don't need to see him.
I'm going to debut them right off the cuff.
All right,
You're ready.
I'm ready.
I have to figure out how to do this. A 3, a 2. Karma is our QB and his right arm. Karma is the whiz of that football landing in Garrett's arms. Karma's gonna track you down, knocking your team to the ground. Sweet like a first down. Karma is a jet. Karma takes all the Jet fans to the playoffs. Karma is the score on the TV. Jets 22, everyone else 3. Jets, Jets, Jets.
Wow. That's remarkable.
Now, Carmen says, let me tell you this. I don't have the melody quite right, but she admits there's much more enthusiasm and love transmitted in my vocal rendition of Karma than the Swiftie. So,
Yeah,
Swiftie,
well,
you've been swifted.
she's been
Just so you
swifted.
know. Okay. What do you think of that? Karma is our QB and his right arm. Karma is the whiz of the football landing in Garrett's arms. Karma's going to track you down. Karma's got your team to the ground. Sweet like a first down. Karma is a jet. Karma takes all the Jet fans to the playoffs. Karma is the score on the TV. Jets 22. Everyone else 3. Even Buddha knows Karma is a jet. It's not a cat. It's not the boyfriend. It's a jet or a jet fan.
So,
It's been coming and it's right. Now, how perfect was that? Let's hear that.
I would say that was nothing less than 90 billion CFUs kind of perfect.
That's what I'm talking about right there. Nature's target, right?
Nature's target.
Right there.
Look at that.
Look at the boo-boo on my finger, by the way. It was all the way up in here, and it's now growing out. But it's the middle finger, so I have to be careful the way I'm putting it back.
Well, if you have both fingers like that, you should be
What
okay.
I'm doing. Okay. Now, you heard it first.
I
It's
sure
forever
did.
in the universe. Expect a recording contract by this afternoon for what you don't understand is. Okay.
Listen,
I'm allowing you to make the deal too.
the
So,
the record
20%.
plant is probably about 30 minutes from your house in LA.
That's right.
It's down in like Hollywood, actually.
Hollywood area, right?
Yeah. So listen, if they're not booked, we'll get you in there.
Listen, I got big connection with Universal Music Group, so we're good, you know, and that's her group actually.
Hey, listen,
So here we go.
Here we go.
Karma is our QB.
Karma. I thought it was Aaron Rodgers.
But that's our QB.
Mm.
And his right arm.
Yeah.
I mean, Karma's the whiz of the football.
I'm more worried about his right Achilles. And quite frankly, his left Achilles, both hamstrings. That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah, but not going to happen because after I start working with Justin Jefferson, you remember where he started his career. Who do you think he has? Green Bay.
Who started whose career?
Justin Jefferson. Didn't he start in Green Bay?
No, he's always been in Minnesota.
Oh, he's there. They're talking about going to Green Bay. Like Green Bay was going to try to get him, but that's not going to happen.
Everybody in the planet should try to get that guy. He's the best wide receiver in the league. He is.
I think that might go to Garrett Wilson, but
nah. Garrett Wilson's only been in the league 2 years. This guy's
5 years, I think. Yeah,
ridiculous. No,
but he's only
picked up his option.
You realize he's only 24 too.
Yeah,
well, we're getting him young.
Well, look, if you get Justin Jefferson, that will get the attention of Captain Karma number 8.
Immediately. Now, let me just tell you something. If I do, and I hope I do, because I like the kid, and I want his career to go to the moon, and that's what happens when I work with people. They don't get hurt. They don't get, let's put it this way. I can't prevent Nick Bosa running into you and taking you to the ground and knocking your shoulder out.
But you can prevent soft tissue injuries from not being stretched.
You're not going to see anybody on the sideline take off quickly and go down. You're not going to see, because his Achilles goes. You're not going to see Aaron Rodgers try to avoid a tackle, which was like 9 tackles if we've seen how many people came through that, and snap his Achilles in the first minute of a season. You're not going to see that anymore. You're going to see hamstring pulls. You're not going to see quad pulls, because what I teach is balance, and what the body needs is balance. You can build all the muscle you want, but if you're imbalanced, that muscle's going to go somewhere. You can't create or destroy energy. So if you've got more energy coming from the bicep than you do in the tricep, you can't stop that. So it's coming. So you got to balance it.
That's exactly it. They're imbalanced. These guys, they're so muscularly developed because they know how to eat better and work out properly to build muscle, but they're so focused on that they've lost complete focus on the other side of the seesaw, and they're tilted like this.
Look, Lynn Swann, to those of you that are old enough to remember who Lynn Swann is, was one of the great receivers for the Pittsburgh Steelers that there ever was. He was doing ballet and Pilates type stuff back in the 70s because we weren't teaching yoga. I was just learning it at that point as much and everything. But that's where all the yoga moves, that's where all the dance moves and the Pilates moves. I mean, Joseph Pilates was a doctor. He brought all of his repairs to the World War II and to dancers from yoga. I mean, they were just made as instead of a practice, a physical therapy thing. And now they tried to turn it into exercise later. That's not as efficient. But that being said, you cannot have strength without flexibility. Think about it. When they build a bridge, you live near the Verrazano Bridge. We're not too far up the road. 30, 40, 50, 60 miles, 70, 80 miles. Up the
Point
road.
is, you need balance.
They're not built with big iron blocks. They're built with flexible materials, with cables. They sway, they bend. Why? Because that's true strength. Because
otherwise,
there's going to be a wind, there's going to be a hurricane, there's going to be an earthquake, something.
And what would happen if it wasn't flexible to that bridge? It would what?
It explodes like a firecracker. Snap. Right. And what happens to these guys? They build their quads up. They look like horse trunks. But they forget that, well, that quad directly is in front of the hamstrings on the other side. But they forget about the hamstrings.
Yeah, they don't even bother with it.
So
Or they do this. they do this ridiculous thing where they go, well, they sit on their stomach and they do the leg curls.
Right.
They go, well, I worked a muscle of my hamstring because I did curls. And it's like, okay, you've just built two giant muscle groups and you're not stretching.
And what attaches muscle? What attaches muscle to the bone?
Your ligaments.
What attaches muscle to muscle? Tendons.
Tendons.
So tendons and ligaments are directly related to your bone and your muscle. Both of them connected to muscle from different ways. So if your muscles are overstrong and your tendons have not been flexed and strengthened themselves, well, on a quick move, snap-a-roo. Well, on a twisted foot, oops. Listen, if you got an ACL because you got caught in the tear, because you got caught in the turf and some guy hit you low on the leg too, okay, there's nothing. There's nothing that's a force greater than the force happening.
Correct.
But a quick little cut, you just go down on your own, and you see these injuries all the time. That should not happen.
Or just guys like running and all of a sudden they plop.
All of a sudden they plop, they fall flat down. Come on.
So,
yeah, that's the good news.
That's so good news. That's good news.
Let me have a little bit of the props. What did you think of that masterpiece I just laid down, Jet Karma by Jet SWIFTIE? That's what I thought.
So about this yoga,
Mesmer, you were stunned.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. Now I'm going to come back in a couple of weeks with the proper melody of it after I work with it. And then you can you heard the vocal prowess of the depth and the richness that just doesn't happen in SWIFTIE songs from me here. Albeit I may not have been on the same notes as the song. It doesn't matter because I'm creative and I create newness.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that was some newness. All right.
Right here.
Yeah.
That's newness.
It is newness.
Newness.
Newness. Before we move forward, the Underwear Olympics, otherwise known as the NFL Combine, is happening this week.
TJ is leaving on Wednesday to go there.
Yeah, it's happening this week. It's for the guys going in the first round and probably I would say the top half of the second round, they're really just going there to shake hands, meet coaches and stuff. Right. It's not really important for them. What it's important for mainly is the guys who are getting picked in the third round and in the fourth and the fifth and the sixth round.
Maybe not picked at all.
Or to get attention to them
that are on the cusp,
which is great.
The end of the but it's also important. Wait, I will give you this. Sometimes you have a guy who was projected to be a first rounder. He got hurt last year or something, and he's dropped down to the end of the first round, maybe the second round, and he comes and he runs a 40 and 4.4, and it moves him back up the ladder.
Yeah, I think though, for guys who are slated to go in round one and the top of round two, it actually can be more detrimental than helpful.
Yeah, because they don't do well in some of the things.
Well, the bar is so flipping high that, but again,
especially I think
it's very important for the guys getting drafted day 3, which is round 4, or guys like you said who may not be in the draft program but get invited, and and I hope they do well. I hope they do well, and
I hope we find I hope we find some linemen.
Okay. Well, the New York Jets this is what's going to happen here. So the New York Jets have to do 2 things. One, they have to sign a veteran left tackle who hopefully isn't injury prone and is under the age of 38. That would be nice. And
how about under the age of 35?
Listen, I'm not going to be greedy, but sure. I want that to happen. I don't want it to be, sorry, David Bakhtiari, but I don't want it to be David Bakhtiari simply because he's best buddies with Aaron Rodgers, because the dude hasn't played a full season in 2 years. 3 years ago, he was one of the best in the league. That was 3 years ago. I don't know if his leg is going to snap or
You
what.
know, Aaron's going to be pushing for him.
Of course he is. The guy's good for 6 or 7 games, but that's not enough. But anyway, the Jets are going to sign. The other thing the Jets are going to do is at pick number 10 in this NFL draft, they should have a shot at the number 2 or number 3 offensive tackle. One kid who plays locally where I'm at, locally here at Penn State, he's a natural left tackle. They'd stick him on the right because you don't want a rookie starting left tackle. And then in a couple of years, he can go to the left side. And the other kid is purely a right tackle. He's out by your neck of the woods, well, way north, actually, in West. He's Oregon State, and he's the number 3 guy on the
wife's neck of the woods.
Oregon State, Liz's, yeah. So one of those 2 guys, I think the Jets will end up with, unless somebody makes them a Godfather offer to trade out of 10, which I don't see. But you never know. Listen, teams do dumb stuff to get quarterbacks and not the right quarterbacks. So
and there's a lot of quarterbacks this year. Now
there's a lot. Listen, I think the first
in the second round, do we grab a quarterback?
We don't have a second round pick. You know why? Because we have Aaron Rodgers.
Do we in the third round go for a
yes.
quarterback? That's where we get one.
No, we're not going to. No. Third round depends on probably a wide receiver. But I would not be surprised if the Jets did take a quarterback on day 3.
Okay, well, that's the day that the GOAT was picked.
The GOAT was picked day 3. GOAT Light was picked, was day Mr. 3. Irrelevant.
He stinks. But
he doesn't stink. He definitely doesn't stink. But I would say he's in the middle of the pack.
They were trying to make him as the next Brady. He's not the next Brady.
Well, I mean, listen. He's a middle of the pack quarterback, which if you think about it, when you're the absolute last pick in the NFL draft and you are the number 15 quarterback in the league, that's pretty flippin' impressive.
No, that's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah. I don't think, because I don't think he works on anybody else's squad but Kyle Shanahan's squad. And it doesn't
matter.
It doesn't work in the playoffs, as you see.
He's a smart kid, which makes up for his physical lack of arm strength.
I don't know that.
Anyway, so you got to get to the Pearl of Wisdom because we got to wrap it up.
Okay, we got to get to Pearl of Wisdom, but we got to mention a minute of the New York Metropolitans.
It's spring training.
Yeah, but here's what happens. It's spring training. We're going to close it up on that, but here's what happens in spring training. You realize this Metropolitan team is loaded. Okay? The only thing we're missing is a starting rotation, which you can argue is important in the Major League Baseball. But the rest of the way, the bullpen, the reserves, everything, pretty impressive. By the way, I watched a film last night by myself because my wife was away for the night called The Hill, about some guy, Ricky Hill, who was spinally challenged as a kid, some disease, still has it today, bad legs, all this, and his dream was to play baseball with Dennis Quaid and a few others. Really good. I mean, I cried.
Oh, again, I know we got to get to the Pearl of Wisdom, but real quick, I finished Tulsa King last night.
Dude. Not bad, right?
It's fireworks.
Are you going to listen to me about Taylor Sheridan and get on the next one?
Yeah, okay. I mean, if it's on Paramount Plus, maybe
that's what I said. All the shows are Taylor Sheridan. He's created that network. Basically, they gave him hundreds of millions of dollars to just go make these shows because based upon Yellowstone, which is really unbelievably great film. The only reason it hasn't swept Emmys every year is because, like you and me, Taylor Sheridan sits somewhere in the middle, and his politics annoy Hollywood and everything because he'll admit that he'd vote Republican in the show. He'll have a Republican. He'll admit that he'll also vote left, or he'll do this, and it's written in, and it shows the better results in all of his work. Even in Tulsa King, you could see some of his politics come through a little bit.
Really
unbelievable.
And it's a really good show.
They shun it because of that, but you cannot shun it.
It's a really good show. I hope they make a second season.
Oh, they are already.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's been issued. You got to go see. Start with Yellowstone. I know I told you the next one for you to watch is The Mayor of Kingstown because of what you just watched. You see the nit and gritty of it, but really start with Yellowstone. Okay, now
Pearls of wisdom.
Pearl of Wisdom. You didn't think this wasn't coming back, did you?
I was hoping.
Did you think this wasn't coming back? Jet what?
Jet Swiftie.
Above that is
Yeah, QB Karma.
Jet Karma. Okay. I'm going to tell you something about karma, my friends.
Oh,
You heard me sing about karma,
I did.
and you out there, which is multiplied apparently at this point by 37%. Unbelievable. Okay. You think karma is just, oh, something happens and then it causes something else to happen. Well, in essence, that's what karma sort of is. But just like we were talking about injuries, if you push on one side and you don't give a pull on the other, it goes snap. So what karma truly is, and this is the reason why Jet Karma is the best, is you learn from some of the mistaken deeds, the wrong moves, the negative flow of your flowers. Yeah, you don't know what that is, but I do. Okay. You get that happening in life and you get into a circle of negativity, but you make one change, one simple change, which could be, okay, you wake up in the morning and you don't go, oh, my aching back, blah, 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 blah. And then you wake up in the morning and you take a deep breath and you lift up like that. And you say to yourself, wait a second, that felt good. So you try it with something else.
I'm doing chair yoga while you're telling me.
And you try it with something else. Next time, maybe when you go to reach for that thing out of reach, you reach a little bit more because you let go. Now, that could be a mental reach. That could be a physical reach. That could be a spiritual reach. Look at you reaching there. What happens is if you set karma
Yeah.
the right motion, she will come back and continue that in a loving, passionate, wonderful, lifting motion.
And that's a good point because unfortunately, people they take the negative view of karma as if karma can only be negative.
That's the whole point.
That's not true.
Going back to
Good karma.
karma.
Good karma.
The good right arm. Not that it's
Good
that
right
ankle
arm.
was hurt. The landing in Garrett's arms and he catches it, runs for a touchdown.
Catch of the year, by the way.
Karma, by far the catch of the year.
No, it was
Karma
rated catch of the
to
year.
the playoffs. That's where we're headed. Where our score is going to be 22 and theirs because we have the best defense in the NFL, 3. So that's what karma's about, my friends. You make your own karma. So you decide whether or not you're an angry Hulk or you're Buddha or you're both. Because you take the Buddha part and put it into the Hulk, and now you're Hulk with flexibility.
I like it.
Touch.
All right, then. Very good.
What'd you think of that?
I love it. We went over time, but that's okay. We always do.
We always do. Ladies and gentlemen, what you don't understand is still
That's Broadway Blanchard.
Broadway
Right there.
Blanchard is here saying goodnight to Jet Steve Weisgau.
Adios.
Adios, my friends.